Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Screen. Okay, so we are in the Brisa of Rabbi Lezer Omer.
Right.
Find it here. Lezer, this one. Lezer Omer. Ein adam rashai tei mosu b'toch tanik yishul tzedakah. Elin kein tamid chacham emun alav Rabbi Chaim ben Shrajon. So this is says Rabbi Chaim. Okay, emun alav tamid chacham ne'amak Rabbi Chaim ben Shrajon. It doesn't say in the Bryce Naaman. He adds the word Naaman, a trustworthy person. Tzaddik also low. The tzaddik should be, and the reason Rabbi Chaim added that is that's because we can't look for tzaddikim like Rabbi Chaim ben Shrajon because there aren't such tzaddikim. Right? In times I'm Amoraim. The Gaboin the Amoraim lo tzaddikim kamoso. Okay, so it's interesting. He's saying, look, the Ridas Adoros means we're never going to have somebody who's as big a tzaddik as in the previous generation. But at least we should have somebody who was a Naaman. And Rabbi Chaim ben Shrajon was a Naaman. And that's what we're going to see in the Gemara, how he was a Naaman, what gave him that status. So that's the Gemara says, my uvdei. What happened in time? So this is a story where Rabbi Yosef and Kisma and Chaim ben Shrajon were in jail together. And Rabbi Yosef and Kisma for the Romans. And Rabbi Yosef and Kisma says, Rabbi Chaim ben Shrajon, you're going to get killed because you were teaching Torah Rabbim, and you didn't, and you broke the Roman law. I didn't teach Torah Rabbim, so I'm not going to get killed. Okay, it's true enough. So that's what happened. So Rabbi Chaim ben Shrajon asked Kisma, what's his status for Olam Haba? So Rabbi Yosef and Kisma asked him, Klum Ma'aseh Bo Yodcha. Right? In other words, we say Talmud learning is good, it's great, but God Talmud Shvei Ma'aseh. You need to do something with your learning in order to get Olam Haba. It has to have a practical, manifestation. So Chaim ben said, "Yeah, I did a Ma'aseh, and there's the Ma'aseh. My day, the time I'm like Klum Ba Ma'aseh Decha." That's right. Yosef Kisma asking him, "I'm like Moshe Purim Yischavli Moshe Tzedakah." Money from Purim, which is Matonas Lev Yoinim, got mixed up with me with money of tzedakah. And I gave him out to Aniyim. Okay, so the question is a big deal, right? What else is supposed to do with them? So the Reb Chaim says here, Moshe mitzvah sheinachli l'sudas Purim. It wasn't Matanas Lev Yoinim money. It was money which was set aside for Sudas Purim, and therefore it was money of his own pocket. Mm-hmm. So he was able. The way I recall in the Bavli, I think it's not like that. The way I call it in the Bavli is that I think that the Matanas of Yoinim and Tzedakah are supposed to be different funds. Okay. And he made up the discrepancy from his own money. In other words, they don't necessarily go to the same people. Matanas of Yoinim and Tzedakah. So but the discrepancy he made up, the difference he made up from his own money. That's what I recall being the case. But Rabbi Chaim's shot is much simpler, of course. That his own money. Collecting money. I didn't reimburse myself from the fund for tzedakah, even though it's my own money. Right. So Amalei, so Rabbi Yosef said, okay, if that's the case, yeah, I would like to be with you in Olam Haba. In other words, that was considered to be a Maisa, which indicated that kind of Entriding was worthy of Olam Haba, which is a strange thing because I'm sure there are other Maisim. It's a very strange Gemara, but the Maisa is being brought down here. Says Reb Chaim not to indicate that he was a tzaddik, but to indicate that he was a Naaman, right? And even though there it's mashma in the Gemara that it's a tzidkus thing, no, it's a Naamanus thing.
Okay.
Okay. Brisa, Amar Love Rabbi Tarfon, Asher Gadol is a great rich. He didn't give to so many gifts to Aniyim like he could have. Okay, this Maisa is not brought down anywhere in the Gemara. In other words, it's brought down in the Gemara, they didn't give enough, they didn't give tzedakah as he could have. But this story with Rabbi Akiva, I don't think I've ever seen before. So, I mean, I know I haven't seen it before, so therefore it's new. So, Rabbi Akiva said, you know what, you're very rich, I'll buy you a city or two, right? So, Rabbi Tarfon said, okay, maybe, good investment. Rabbi Tarfon, Hevi lo arba lafin dinari zav. He bought him 4,000 dinarim. Rabbi Akiva, chilkam li'anim. He didn't buy him city, he distributed to poor people. Yomim atzol Rabbi Tarfon. Amar lei, heichan ayorosh l'kachtali, where the city you bought from me? Tov saviyado. He grabbed by the hand. V'lichol beis hamedrash. Brought him beis hamedrash, Rabbi Tinok v'yod sefer Tehillim. Yakorev halach had shegia lepasuk zeh, and he read until he got to this pasuk. Now, if you read this pasuk from the beginning of Tehillim, that was a long session because this is in Tehillim Kufyud Beis. So it says, Pezer got to get pasuk Pezer nasan lanim. So it says the Rabbi Chaim, in other words, it's an investment, right? You're going to get the fruits of you're going to get the interest, as parnasa, and the principal will be intact. So so he said, I did that for you. I gave tzedakah, which is something where he gets peres and olamazeh and keren kayemis olamaba. Okay. So the question is obviously how Rabbi Tarfon responded. Presumably he responded okay. Rabbi Tarfon says Gemara. Rabbi Tarfon pasach tiflach leislei. It says pasach tiflach lesyodcha, right? Why would he not give it tzedakah? In Hava Yoiv, yeah, he gave. So if that's the case, Rabbi Akiva Maika Kafye. Why did Rabbi Akiva force him to give if he was giving Emrei? According to the camel, is its load. Says the Rabbi Chaim, based on the strength of the camel, you give him a burden. He wasn't giving according to his means. That's Rabbi Akiva forced him. Okay. Also Rabbi Akiva. So evidently, there's more to the story. Also Rabbi Akiva, Yoav Shlish Lanim, he gave a third to poor people. Shnei Shlishim, and 2/3 Cholak Masnin, U'eske Baraisa, U'Safraya. So he gave up to people who are learning Mishnayos, I guess, and to people learning Torah. I'm not sure what the difference is. Maybe one is Mishnayos, one is Gemara. I know Rabbi Chaim doesn't explain anything, but he doesn't. And Sefaria to say for him. Kat Ashkecha. So when he found him, Amalei Hecharim Musi. So it's a little bit different than it was in the Mishnah. The Bryce didn't ask for his seeds. He asked, says Rabbi Chaim Hechon Skarasi. Where's my merchandise? So I gave you money to do commerce. What happened with it? Amalei said, Kanisi l'chaba. I bought stuff for you with it. My iska. What did you? What was your investment? Klum tavahi. Was it a good one? Amalei tavi shapi adalei sof. Right. It has no. It's good with no end. So Chaim Esek Tova Sisa Shein Chasof Shaken Chaim Lad. You're always going to have the principle. Ayla Bei Medrasha. So he took him. It's in the base Medrash. Kiva took right time base Medrash. I'm like, hey, where is it? Gabi David Malka Yisrael. It's by King David. In other words, you'll find I invested in King David. King David guarantees, right? See, because David Melch said, Pezer Nasan Lev Yonim. So therefore, it was investment in what David Melch talks about in that pasuk. Pezer Nasan Lev Yonim Tzikosam Eslad. So here we have Rabbi Talmud's response, actually. Amar loma vada tohachi. Why did you do this? I'm not sure if he meant to ask him, why did you give tzedakah, or why did you without that telling me? So Amar Leisi said, "V'lo yadatu shenakdim megurion." The Hakim Gurion was a tremendously rich person. This brought down in the Bavli and Gittin, the Agav to Korban. When he would go from his house to the base of Mikdash, they would put pillows of silk underneath him. He would, or Chaim says, pieces of silk, underneath him, so he wouldn't have to step on the ground. And he wouldn't collect them, right? The Aniyim would come and collect them, and they'd sell them to make money. Nevertheless, since he didn't do according to his means, Yanish, he was punished. Famous Gemara, Ksuis, quotes, Yanish, Rabbi Yochanan Zake found his daughter Martha Bas Beitzus, I think, was collecting. No, she couldn't be Martha Bas Beitzus. She was daughter of Nakdim and Gurion. But in any event, so she was collecting after the Korban, it seems, barley from amidst the dung of the Arab donkeys, because she had nothing to eat. So, and she's the one who said that her, even though her father gave tzedakah, he could have given more. So evidently Rabbi Akiva understood the question that Rabbi Tarfon was asking him was, why did you give it to tzedakah? And Rabbi Akiva was answering that question, but no. So Rabbi Tarfon said, what I meant to ask you is, why did you tell me, and I would have done it willfully? Says Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky, no, she seems to be tzedakah. I wasn't saying it. I was asking, I'm sorry. Could have asked me outright. I would have given it to you.
Sure you don't want me to show
So I'm like, Klum Avina or Yahivna Elamidach. So now what does that mean? Yeah, so it says Chaim, did I do anything or give anything except for you? You get the schus tzedakah regardless. Tzedakah is a unique mitzvah. There's a I think that if a person has money in his pocket and falls out of his pocket, and only finds it, so the person lost the money gets the mitzvah tzedakah. Tzedakah doesn't go by the giver, but by the recipient. As long as the recipient receives tzedakah, the giver gets the mitzvah. Okay, so whether you're aware of it or not, you still get the mitzvah. But if I would have told you or not told you. Okay, so Amalei Shani Omer Goda Maasa Yosim in Oisa. So the
deed
person
is greater than the doer.
Yeah, Goda Maasa. Sorry, Goda Maasa Yosim in Oisa. Shnemar Yom Aseh Tzedakah Shalom. But that so it's a little bit difficult. I'm not sure.
No, it's like Hama'aseh. It's a he-fill. According to Rabbi Chaim.
No, I understand that. But so Rabbi Chaim says, "Gadol schusha kofel tzedakah yosem misha tzedakah mishalo." Actually, shekafiso si ein schusi gadol. So I'm not sure what that means.
It says, he's saying, Rabbi Akiva, you're now getting better credit than if I had done it on my own.
Who's saying? Rabbi Tarfon is saying this, right?
Saying that to Rabbi Akiva.
So what is he saying? What he's saying is God Master. So what it seems he's saying to Rabbi Akiva is that you get greater reward than me. So what's the big deal? I understand. Okay.
So Gadol Matzah Yotim Nasa Shnemar Vayamasa Tzedakah Shalom. All right. V'lo kutiv v'hayat tzedakah shalom Gadol Zechuto Shel Hama'aseh. The one who actually gave it gets the most fruit.
No.
Yeah. The one who did the act of giving the money, not the one that the money came from.
Oh, that's how you're learning it. Maaseh means the person. I see. So in other words, had I given the money, I would have been both the Oseh and the Maaseh.
Right.
Because I would have. But this way, you're the I wasn't the Maaseh. I was only the Oseh. So there. I always thought Maaseh means the other, which the Pashup shot is that the other person who compels you to give, or encourages you to give, or gets you to give, he gets more schar than you who gave. So that's. But here he's saying.
Right. I mean, that's what Rabbi Chaim says.
No, I understand. But here, because what the Bryce is teaching us is a chiddush. Bryce is teaching us that that's even true about the person himself. The person himself can have both dinim of oseh and maaseh.
Okay.
So, which is what you just said. In other words, Tarfon is saying by you not telling me, I was not maaseh myself. I was just oseh. So therefore, I get less reward because I was not maaseh. I was only oseh. So you should tell me so I get the reward also maaseh. Okay, very good. One more piece.
Yeah, I guess so.
B'shum ma'aseh Rabbi Tarfon. Notice what Rabbi Tarfon. He was eating. This is brought down in the Gemara. He was eating dates from his own orchard. Umutzah and his oris found him, and he in the Gemara it's just a stammer. It's a stammer person. Gemara doesn't say it was his own oris. This makes much more sense than the Gemara because the Gemara sounds like Rabbi Tarfon was eating from somebody else's field, but it says only from his own field. And his oris didn't recognize him. His sharecropper didn't recognize him. And he beat him a great beating. So he didn't tell him. He didn't say anything to him, right? Came with Shoshiotza Nafsho. Once he was in danger of dying, the Gemara, in the case of the Gemara, the Oris bundled him up in a burlap bag and took him to the river and was about to drown him. But here it just says he was beating him to a pulp. So Amar said, Oilcha Rabbi Tarfon. He said, woe to you, Rabbi Tarfon. Right? Amar so Oris said, Tohu Rabbi Tarfon. You're Rabbi Tarfon? On my hand, yes. Obviously the Oris let him go. But now Rabbi Tarfon, Ahmad stood up at Tolash Bisaro. He started ripping out his hair. Tzak Ubacha. Actually, I'm not sure who did this. Okay, the Oris did it because Rabbi Tarfon did this. See, take a look in the Rabbi Chaim says, sorry, so it's mashma for Rabbi Chaim a little bit that the Oris was the one who was ripping out his hair. And the question is, why did Rabbi Tarfon wait so long to tell him that he was Rabbi Tarfon? But the other way of learning it, which I think is more in line with the way the Bavli learns it, is that Rabbi Tarfon, was upset at himself. And why was he so upset at himself? Because he's mishtamish b'kavod HaTorah. In other words, he saved himself by saying, I'm Rabbi Tarfon. Okay? That's a big jump, obviously. But the point is that, you shouldn't use the Kesser of Torah for regular purposes. Rabbi Yonasan says, Rabbi Yonasan ben Amram learned mimenu. Yonasan ben Amram learned from Rabbi Tarfon. Time Shnei Batzores, Tziva Rabbeinu Kosh Pesach Otzu Schitim. So Gemara and Basra. During years of famine, Rabbi Yehuda commanded they should open warehouses of wheat. All types of food. Ma'asa, what did he do? He made an announcement, said, everybody who learns anything, Chumash, Mishnah, Halacha, and Agarata, but Amei Oretz lo yikansu, not Amei Oretz, right? The Rabbi Chaim says in the Gemara, Rabbi L'Tame, Rabbi Ein Pronounced Baba Halom El Bishal Amei Oretz. I'm not going to sustain Amei Oretz. They had a problem in the first place. Dochak Rabbi Yonasan ben Amram. So Rabbi Yonasan ben Amram came in, pushed his way in. Amei Klum Yesh Yodcha Torah? Do you know? Amei Lav? No. And he asked him, and the Kohen Baba asked him, you have Gemara, you have anything? How am I going to get Parnasa? Amar Leitz, Rabbi Yonasan ben Amram said to him, Rebbe, Parnasenika Kele V'Chorev. support me like a dog or like a raven. So Rabbi Chaim says, Hashem has mercy on them. Tzaddik din dalim. The righteous, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, knows the law of the impoverished. Since the dog doesn't have much food, therefore its food stays in the stomach for 3 days. He gives food to the children of the raven who call out. And raven is cruel to his children. Baruch Hu has their excrement attract mosquitoes, which they can then eat, even though their parent doesn't feed them. Okay, after he gave it to him, he felt bad. Woe to me that I gave my bread to an Amoritz. The Rebbe. So Shimon Rebbe said to Rebbe, I think in the Gemara it says Rebbe's daughter said to him, not Rebbe Shimon Rebbe, but Shema Yonasan ben Amram Tamidchu. Maybe it's Yonasan ben Amir Tamid. Shein Otzel b'Kavod HaTorah miyomov. He doesn't want to get anor from Kavod HaTorah. But Kumatzu Shuken. You saw that was the fact case. But also Shah Amar Yikonsu HaKakol. So here knows he learned a lesson from this. He said, you know what? I'm no longer going to give a means test based on Torah. Because that's making people be mushtamish with Kavod HaTorah. I'm just going to give everybody. Iboilu Amaritz Mauli Slavosim Tamir Chacham. So sounds like can Aram Aretz accompany Tamir Chacham, but it means can Tamir Chacham allow an Am Aretz to accompany him. So Tashma Ki Yuchayecha Barach Yamecha. Torah is your life in length of your days. Achayav Lochatz Ech Yichus Alecha. He's not concerned with his own life. How he's going to be concerned with you. He throws in here something, Rabbi Chaim. I don't think that's not here in the text, but he says, don't let him accompany you solo because he might kill you. Chaim says, the calls there, Abam Oretz Kaifer Lachis. We're talking about a real bad Amoritz, not talking about Stam Amoritz. Stam Amoritz is okay. We're talking about a really Lachis sticker. Again, we're talking about a real Amoritz. Edus can't accept from testimony. Chaim says because they're not credible. And most of them Edus, you don't set them up as Edim. Because again, not credible. And Islam and you don't come to them on the road. They mind about talking about trouble. You don't make them guardians for orphans. And you don't tell them secrets. So the Chaim Shum Dover says if he sholech rochil magala. You don't tell him any secret because he's going to go and gossip and tell people. Although, it could be that so means something esoteric that you don't tell because, like the Rambam says, that the Gadata was written the way it was written in order not to reveal to people who are unworthy the profound secrets of the Torah. So Rabbi Chaim saying again, Kedarko Kipshuto, it's not to reveal them any secret, but it could mean something esoteric. Okay, Shkoyach.
Sure.
So next week also have to learn a different day.
Okay, so we'll be in touch.
Take care.
Bye. Thank you.